Guys, Luke Kennard has been Duke's best and most consistent player, according to Jeff Capel. And Notre Dame's Mike Gray said if Kennard has 30, we don't win this game. Now, Kennard had 30 in the second half against Wake Forest, a game he said was fun. And guys, when I talked to him yesterday, you could hear the smile in his voice, the happiness in his tone. He said this team has been through so much adversity. To stay together and find a way to battle back was the best feeling. That fun word. They haven't had a lot of that this year at Duke, and you could tell what a relief it was to get that win. Perhaps the best part, though, the text from Coach K saying, "I'm proud of you guys."
Second best thing was they get their jerseys back. They get to wear their clothes again.
I thought maybe that they would practice in one of those Belushi shirts that just said college in the front. Duke wins the opening tip. Blue Devils have had to change up their starting lineup several times this year. Notre Dame goes with its typical lineup, and Kennard, after making 10 straight in the second half against Wake Forest, misses his first shot of the night. Kennard shooting better than 54% on the season. He has been acknowledged, despite all the attention on Grayson Allen and on the freshman from Duke, that Luke Kennard's been their best player.
Well, I don't think there's any question. I mean, Luke Kennard has done it in the clutch. He 10 for 10 in the second half, 30 points in the second half. He's been as good a player as there is in the country. I think Kennard's the first-team All-American.
The shot from DJ Beecham is no good. There's the leading rebounder for the Irish, Bonzie Colson, going for the follow.
Yeah, he just out-toughed Tatum. Tatum is in there. He needs to understand he's a rebounder. Colson was behind him and went over him and got the bucket.
The average is better than 10.5 rebounds per game. Bonzie using those long arms, and Matt Farrell has it going the other way. Now keep an eye on him. He's a wizard with the ball, and he can also shoot it, though that one's a little bit long.
And that time much better by Tatum. He held his block out a little bit. It's going to be huge. That Tatum rebounds, screens, runs.
Tatum ran the floor that time, Dan, and wanted the alley-oop from Allen, but Grayson got better of it, and he's getting his typical on-the-road reception. The second half, he'll be going right into the Notre Dame crowd when the Blue Devils have the ball. Emil Jefferson, good move.
Hey, that was sweet. A little crossover from the left corner, or from the left elbow. You can't really help when he makes that move because Grayson Allen's sitting there ready to shoot.
Martinez Gevin tries to bounce pass to Beecham. It's lost and goes out of bounds off of Notre Dame. It'll be the Blue Devils' ball.
This is the most solid guy on Duke. How about this crossover? Just goes right around, finishes at the rim. Watch Bonzie Colson here. There's no excuse for that if you're Tatum. Bonzie Colson is about 6'5", 6'6". Tatum, long arm, great shoulders. That should never happen.
Bonzie's got those Inspector Gadget arms.
Yeah.
He's got long arms. The first shot of the night is pure from Grayson Allen.
I'm telling you, again, late in the game, Jeff Capel went to Allen and went to Kennard. I think that should be their game plan, period. It's not a democracy basketball, Reese. It's not. Hey, shooters shoot, scorers score. If you can't do that, then screen, rebound, and run.
You think everything when the Blue Devils have the ball needs to go through 3 and 5, Tatum included, everybody else needs to play off of those two?
I would let Tatum screen and pop occasionally, rebound like crazy, and make sure that you run. Like right now, run, but I'm going through these two guys.
Vestoria missed that three. He's an excellent shooter, but he scuffled in the game against Georgia Tech on Saturday. He was just 1 of 7 from the floor and 1 of 4 from 3, and the Blue Devils off to a good start offensively.
All right, that's not bad either.
Yeah.
Jefferson.
You let Emil shoot it every now and then.
As long as you're going to the rim, that's cool. But everything else, jump shots, those two.
But that's sort of what you're talking about, is playing off of those guys and then playing to your strength. Here's Farrell. He'll go like a whirling dervish through that lane on the drives. He's a fearless guy with a little bit of edge and attitude. Became a starter in the tournament last year. He was over the top, and he is skyjacked. And here come the Blue Devils. Tatum can do this, leading the break. Allen for 3. Allen chasing the offensive rebound, but Vestoria has it.
Hey, if Tatum wants to do that, that's great. Vestoria made a nice play there because Grayson Allen knew the shot was long, chased it down. Vestoria stayed with it.
Bonzie a little fade away, and Allen has the rebound. Notre Dame retreats quickly. Allen gets into the lane, and Colson steals it away. Here's B.J. Beecham, who had a strong outing against Georgia Tech. Beecham gets past Jefferson, ball gets out of bounds, and will stay with the Irish.
Already, Jefferson and Tatum have been in much better defensive help position than they were against Wake Forest. Honest to goodness, I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like what Wake Forest was able to just drive it. Obviously, Jeff Capel did a nice job, got the bigs and help in the one day in between, and they got it straightened out, which is not easy to do.
The story of falling gets rid of it before he travels. Notre Dame just hit one of its first 6 shots. Rex Pfluger's checked into the game. That's him wearing 0. Bonzi spinning on Allen. Another 1 for 7. Cold shooting Irish to start, and one of the reasons that they've had this great success against Duke since joining the ACC is because typically they shoot it well, but we've also seen them in these games fall into a hole and rally. Here's Kennard using the right hand, and Luke's no good, and Bonzi Colson collects yet another rebound.
That was pretty good. They made Kennard shoot over people, not around people. You can't let Kennard in the lane. If you let Kennard in the lane, that's bad business. Same thing on this end. If you let VJ Beacham in the lane, that's bad business. But if they do get in the lane, you got to make them shoot over people.
Farrell a little aggressive. The ball is kicked. Irish will keep it. Duke off to a 6-2 start. To make consecutive Elite Eights.
You know, it's been interesting about Mike. First, I can't believe he's been here 17 years. Second, so many coaches around the country follow Mike and his offense. Remember back in the day, he had the burn offense when they were shorthanded, he spread it out. But now, you know, plays fast. I know that coaches come here, they study tape. He has become an offensive guru in NCAA basketball.
Farrell, for 3.
It helps have guys who lift up over 6'11" guys and knock them in.
You know, Bray was telling me today that when he saw Farrell in high school that he reminded him of Bobby Hurley. And in terms of playing with a little bit of an edge, but the one thing you could make the case for, at least early in the career, is that Farrell probably shoots it better, might have a little bit more range.
Yeah, I think he has more pop, too. Now, he's not going to be as good a player. Bobby Hurley, one of the all-time greats. But Farrell has a little more quickness. You were talking about it off air, side to side, a little more pop to lift up on his jump shot.
Jeff Capel making some substitutions. Grayson Allen, Emil Jefferson going to the bench. Frank Jackson, talented freshman from Alpine, Utah, checking into the game. So is Matt Jones. Matt Jones is seniors in there. So you've got Jackson, Kennard, Tatum, Jones, and Harry Giles is also in there now for the first time tonight. Tatum has Beacham working on him. Spin move by Tatum. Stumbled a little bit and threw off the rhythm of the shot. And Pfluger's coming the other way, and Notre Dame's got numbers. Bounce past Nestoria.
That's pretty sweet right there.
Lost start of the bounce pass, Dan.
At the right time, too. Took it to the elbow, didn't overcommit. Really good.
And Notre Dame's taking the lead. And I tell you what, Pfluger's come into this game and giving him a little lift on defense. It's another deflection from him.
No doubt. Bad shot. Tatum needs to go to the rim. Hey, look, Kennard's got to put his head under the basketball. What a nice pass. You mentioned Pfluger defensively. He doesn't overcommit, throws it at the right time. Fostoria running, gets the result. You know, so many guys now run for a 3. So many guys over-penetrate, getting their own shot. That was just really, really simple basketball.
Bray sends T.J. Gibbs, freshman guard, into the game, along with Austin Torres, the senior big man. Gibbs guarding the ball, shot clock inside 5. Tatum. That's why there are a lot of people who like Jason Tatum. The ability to score like that.
About 45 guys from the NBA sitting around here watching a lot of people. I'm guessing he's the #1 guy. But I like what Duke's doing. They're going right at the bigs of Notre Dame. We saw Jefferson do it twice. We saw Tatum do it there. Get it and go.
Torres is open. There's that lateral quickness we were talking about with Farrell that got him into the lane. And then there's a kicked ball as Farrell tried to bounce pass it out.
You know, one thing you see out of Notre Dame players, there's no uptightness offensively. Like, nobody's worried about a make or miss. They're just playing. Farrell right there got a little out of control. Nobody gets excited. It's all right. Reset, regroup, let's go.
Yeah. To that point, Dan, talking to Bray today about Farrell, he said, you know, he teeters on that edge. He said, but you live with it because of what he gives you. The story almost got the and one as he has a nice take to the bucket. An excellent free throw shooter will go there, fire up a couple, shooting 93% on the season.
for coaches out there. You're playing against a team that has decent athletes. Don't go side to side. You just saw right there. Fostoria just went north and south, straight at. If you drive straight at Duke, you beat Duke. If you try to go side to side, they can guard you. You think these guys, all right, they're athletic, they're big, they're long. You just go straight at them. And that first step you saw with Giles there was open. And once a defender opens, you've got him beat.
Astoria makes 1 out of 2. And we're tied at 8. Nearly 7 minutes in on Big Monday. Notre Dame had about a 4.5-minute drought, which they didn't score, but in the last minute 50, they put 6 on the board. Jackson gets in the paint. There's Pfluger. A tough-minded play, pulling around the rebound. Farrell wanted to so badly, but he knew better than that. It was pretty deep. He's got range.
See, when it goes side to side, Jackson guarded. Had Fostoria made one more dribble, it would have been a bucket.
Pfluger step back, took some time on the shot clock.
And that was good defense. That was so much better defensively by Kennard et al. Than what they were doing Duke against Wake Forest.
Oh, Kennard was a nifty. Luke Kennard.
Oh, man. A little lingerie on the deck. Hey, this is simply called giving a guy the business. Right here. Little spin. Oh, a little up and under. And Pfluger ended up darn near at half court. This is
Showing
nice.
that. Put it up there nice and soft.
Don't you think he's kind of an old school scorer, Kennard? Like he's going to be doing that when he's 70 in some rec league somewhere, giving some 30-year-old the business.
Made a concerted effort in his freshman year. Everything is beyond the art because he is a fabulous long-distance shooter. But this year has made the effort to use that type of ability, and it's expanded his game.
You know what he's done? And this is what smart players do. His ball fake is tremendous. Like a lot of guys kind of fake. He shows the basketball. And players react to the basketball. They don't react to a head fake or a nod. You show them the ball, they're jumping.
Good showing some pressure. Gibbs taking it all the way. He chases down the blocked shot. Colson inside.
Really nice by Pfluger. Pfluger made
Two
again.
of them.
Yeah, you said the art of the bounce pass. There it is again.
Yep. There's 2 of them for him. Emil Jefferson at the elbow. Backing down Bonzi and Hill.
Wow.
Like a nifty little hook shot. 13-10. Blue Devils have the lead.
All right, here's how you stop that. You don't let Jefferson catch the ball on the elbow. If he has to take one step out because you denied him, he can't make that move. But right there, comfortable, looked him.
And he's made all 3 of his field goal attempts. He has 6 of Duke's 13.
And that is so good right there, Reese. Everybody came to help. I'm telling you, against Wake, there was no help, and you could have driven it down into the bucket.
The turnover, Allen leaves it for Tatum in the miss, and the pass was just a little off, and Jason couldn't finish it. So now Notre Dame tries to answer. Farrell to beat him, and he'll go to the free throw line. Well, up and down action, and when we come back to Notre Dame, Dan Dockich will break down Bonzi Colson, the Dockich on-court demo coming up on Big Monday. Notre Dame and Duke in the ACC, and right now, Bonzi taking his presence.
Cutting and screening.
And Dan, he's given Duke all kinds of problems in the meeting in his career. He's leading the ACC with better than 10.5 rebounds per game and averaging 15 points per game, about 15.5. And to Dan's point about Notre Dame playing off of him, also gets a couple of assists, does a little bit of everything. He's a guy who has matured over the course of his career. As Beecham knocks down a couple of free throws to make it a 1-point game.
Yeah, he's just a monster in a one-on-one. And as you said, he can find, guys that size with that body type have 2 things, great hands and great feet. He has both.
Now, was that far enough out with Jefferson?
I don't
maybe
think so.
A step out of the elbow.
Yeah, but see, he had to give it up. If you just make Jefferson take a step out, it's difficult.
Farrell draws the charge as Frank Jackson tried to get in. It's the first foul on Frank.
Well, Frank Jackson just needed to catch, square up, and either shoot it or shot fake it, not just put his head down. Farrell too quick.
Duke making Notre Dame use some time in the backcourt. Irish now inside 20 on the shot clock. talk about Notre Dame's offensive system, but in terms of the tempo, as Vastoria goes around his back, they're not one of the quickest teams in the country. They do look for opportunities, and they don't mind taking shots, and when they get it inside, Bonzi can do some work.
Hey, that time it was late clock, so they just threw it in there. Most teams use a high ball screen as the equalizer late. They find Colson on the block as the equalizer late, the go-to shot.
Jefferson on Colson. Farrell tried to reach in there, and Neal had that just bad luck and tried to get it back to a teammate, and Colson's there to take it away.
That's exactly right. That's bad luck because he had tremendous position. Let's see if they go back to Colson here.
I think they're going to second foul on Frank Jackson in just a few moments.
You know, Colson doesn't need to have his feet in the paint because he can get to the paint. It's kind of a Bonzi Wells type move back in there. He kind of perfected the mid post, kind of off the block. Colson has that exact game with great touch.
Jackson goes to the bench with those 2 fouls.
I'll tell you what Colson has, it's really odd. Really skinny legs, like really skinny legs, and because of that, Jefferson was able to get around him.
Allen penetrating, good pass to Tatum. Jason has it knocked away and turns it over. Gibbs splits about 3 Blue Devil defenders, and now the Irish on the move. Beecham for 3. That's 7 straight for the Irish.
3 balls already. Farrell's gotten his hands on, knocked him away.
Allen answers.
Oh, you can boo all you want. He does not care. Grayson Allen did it down 4 in the last minute against Wake. Crowd going crazy. That's a big shot in this game, Reese.
They were ready to really cut it loose down in that student section, and Grayson hushes them for the moment. Vastoria gets to go and Tatum.
If I'm Duke, I'm finding Grayson Allen right here. They missed him. I'd get him another shot.
And the ball was too late getting there. Beecham at the other end, and he dunks it politely.
You said it. People say it all the time. No point guard. There's an example right there. Why is Tatum bringing the ball up? You got 3 guys out here on the perimeter that should be. They allow Tatum to do it. No good.
Bernard kicks it out. There's Matt Jones. Jones knocks down 3. Now, he really struggled Saturday against Wake Forest. Just 1 of 10 from the floor and 1 of 8 from 3. So that one had to feel good to see it go through the bucket.
You want to know why Duke's good? Those 2 shots right there. A lot of teams would let this get away, not Duke.
Is that a good thing? Most of the time it is.
It is, because next time he gets one in rhythm, he's going to be ready to shoot it, probably make it.
Gibbs gets a shot blocked by Allen. Grayson let him know a little something about it. A quick follow to beat the shot clock, and Duke's coming the other way. Allen, jump stop, beats his man, ball's knocked out of bounds, and Grayson wanted a call and didn't get it, and Farrell goes over and gives him. And am I going to miss that? Brett Musburger's last call on Super Tuesday, Georgia and Kentucky, 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. I believe Billis is going to be there with him. And, you know, on Saturday, when Dick Vitale worked with Brent for the last time, Dick gave him a little kiss on the cheek. I'd love to see that from Billis on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I don't know that Brent likes that. I thought you were going to say, I'd love to see that from you. I'll kiss you on the cheek.
And no, I was not going to say that.
Grayson Allen.
It might be altogether unpleasant.
I did give John Beeline a kiss the other day when he gave his spring scholarship. I'm like, all right, I'll kiss you right anywhere you want.
Austin Torres with the follow and the bucket. And, Duke and Notre Dame here in the 21-19 game. Reese Davis, Dan Doctors, we both had the pleasure over the years of working with Brent Musburger, and I know that he's been a big part of games with you.
Oh, not only games, but growing up, I grew up an hour away from here in Maryville, Indiana, which is Chicago TV. And I remember when he was the young guy on Channel 2. He was the up-and-comer. Always, he, for some reason, as a sportscaster on local television, made you want to watch. I'll never forget it. And then it was like, hey, there's Brent on
NFL Today.
NFL Today, yeah. So what a great man. The boys in the desert get him now. And
by the way, This is a cleanup. That last follow by Torres is waved off that story. Hit the 2 free throws. And boy, wish Brent well in everything he does. He's been nothing but a gentleman, a great pro, a lot of fun to listen to over the years, and I appreciate everything that he's done to help me. I don't really know why I thought of this at this particular moment, but Duke is a 1-point favorite tonight. I don't know why that came to mind just right now.
Brent, first time I worked with him twice. First time I ever worked with him, I'm nervous because he's the guy. We go to a break, he says, and when we come back, Dan Dockage is going to tell you how to break down E'Twaun Moore's jump shot. And I looked at him, I said, what? He goes, laddie, you'll figure it out. I thought that was awesome.
Neat inbounds play. Jason Tatum puts it home.
I like Tatum when he's free throw line in, playing bigger and longer and more athletic. I don't like him bringing the ball down the court.
Harrell splits the defenders, finds Beacham. BJ puts it on the front of the rim this time. Kennard looked up at Tatum, decided he couldn't get it there. Jefferson rolling. Now he's got Torres on the block, backs him down, and can't get it to go. Jones with the offensive rebound. Grayson Allen, no good. Kennard chases it down. Allen's going to try it again, and second time it rolls home.
What a play by Kennard. I think he threw the ball back in between the legs of the Notre Dame defender.
I think he did.
What a play.
10-2 Duke run over the last 2.5 minutes.
This is what we talked about. You can't get stuck if you're Notre Dame. Now, you've got to guard Beacham, but the rest of these guys, I'm not so sure.
Well, Beacham forced that one, hit the side of the backboard. The shot clock did not reset, so we're now down at 5. So Luger realizes it, fires it. No good. Now a fresh 30. Torres follows it up, and he draws the foul. Let's take another look at that play, Dan, just down to our left by Luke Kennard.
Look at Kennard. He out-hustles 3 guys, throws it in right between the legs.
Right through the wicket.
How about hustles, beats 3 guys, throws it between the legs right there, and gets an assist.
I think, didn't he? I think he threw that with his offhand, too. He's a left-handed guy. I think he bounced it between Vistoria's legs with his right hand.
Hustle gets rewarded in basketball. I say this all the time.
Torres is not good. You know, it's probably not too surprising to use that right hand. When he played quarterback in high school, threw right-handed.
Maybe Torres ought to shoot left-handed.
Rick Canyonberry style might help too.
I think we need to go that way. But, you know, getting back to Kennard, to me, that, if you're sitting there as a freshman, you have to, like, play to that level of hustle.
Jones creates a little space and knocks down the jumper.
I love what Jeff Capel's doing. Remember we said you got to play off of Kennard and Allen. They're using Jones at the top of the key, and they're running a little triangle action, blocker-mover action, where Allen and Kennard go underneath. It is great stuff by Jeff Capel right here.
Hey, here's an idea. What if instead of waiting weeks for your tax...
That's how you have to play. Like, that didn't get set up because of Grayson Allen. That got set up because you have to pay attention to those 2 guys, and everybody else feels comfortable when you play through Allen and Kennard.
And Notre Dame's trying to find its answer on offense. Duke has scored on 5 straight trips and enjoying a 12-2 run. Notre Dame would in need of a bucket this trip.
Did you see where Jefferson forced Tolson? Forced him way out.
And Beacham was fouled on his way. That's going to be the 1-and-1 for B.J. Beacham. Fouls on Kennard, I believe. That's Luke's first on the night, and Beacham will go to the line. He's an 80% free throw shooter. Wednesday is National Signing Day for college football. It will be covered coast to coast. 12 straight years the top high school football players make their official commitments Everything starts at 8 a.m. Eastern on ESPNU, then it moves to ESPN2 at noon, back to the U to wrap the day up at 5. Everything's streaming live on Watch ESPN, the ESPN app. You a big fan of watching signing day and the hat dances?
No. I'm a big fan of college football, though. It's my favorite sport.
That.
All right, this time next year.
Every time I'm on your radio show, you talk about it.
This time next year, are Notre Dame fans happy with their football team?
I think so. Happier than they are right now.
Well, of course.
They've changed a lot on their staff. Some tough luck this year. I think they'll be back as Kennard is along with it. I think they'll be happy. Although you have to define happy, I guess, as I sit here and think about it. Notre Dame fans ever truly happy unless they win the whole thing?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, then no. If that is your definition of happy, then the answer is no.
All right. Again, look what just happened there. They played through Kennard. He missed. All right, Tatum did what he's supposed to do. He rebounded, and they get a bucket out of it.
Houston rises up, and it rises up over the top of the backboard, and Duke will have it back.
Watch it. Look at Tatum. And it makes a really smart play here. He doesn't force it. He's not trying to score through two guys. This is winning basketball. Look, Tatum could score 3 points a game and be a top 5 draft choice in the NBA, top 10. He's that talented. But if he learns to win, they're in business.
They've still got plenty of time to figure this out. And we've talked about quite a bit on the course of the season for Duke, particularly on College game day, whether all of their pieces fit together. There's a foul in the backcourt. Notre Dame will be shooting free throws. Whether all their pieces fit together in terms of guys knowing their roles.
The coach of the year right now for Georgia Tech.
All right,
Fighting buzzes.
Reese and Dan, you guys.
All right, Ravi. Farrell goes to the free throw line after Kennard picked up that foul in the backcourt. That was Luke's second, and he's taking a seat on the bench.
You know, it's funny talking to Jeff Capel. We asked him, did Coach K ever do that to you when you played, take away your gear? And he just laughed. Like, what do you think? Of course
he did.
Coach Knight did that to me in my first college game. Like, we won by 20 against Miami of Ohio. Next thing you know, we're in the football game.
Tatum's shot partially deflected.
Again, that's a wasted possession because Tatum isn't going to do anything with that fading away.
That's sort of whirling on the edge that Farrell just did right now as we check in with Allison.
Well, during that last timeout, Notre Dame spent almost the entire time talking about what they need to do better defensively. And a big part of that is talking. Mike Gray telling his guys, can we just have one possession where you talk the entire time, move, and are in the right position? They have to make sure they're talking through those screens. Matt Farrell told his guys, we got to lock it down on defense.
You know what else? And Allison is so right because they've missed a couple of things, but they're doing a really nice job. Story is of getting on top of Grayson Allen. Now, he fouled right there, but they're not doing a very good job of denying anybody else. So anytime there's pressure, they can just relieve it at the top of the key to Jefferson, and he's been effective. That's good by Fostoria there. He did not allow the screen to touch him.
Allen already has 10 points tonight. Antonio Vrankovic, who gave the Blue Devils good minutes Saturday against Wake Forest, getting some run in the first half. There's Allen, and Farrell with the rebound.
And that was exactly what Allison just said. Two guys came to Allen, then two guys left him. Allen got a good look. Allison right on it.
DJ Beecham needs to get right on it offensively. Colson slipped the screen, and he was itching. That story is just, he doesn't look quite right with the shot right now. He's usually such a pure shooter. He's had a couple of near air balls tonight. Irish have missed 7 in a row, and now they turn it over on the travel. They're completely out of sorts and probably fortunate. They're within 5. Good free throw shooting has helped that out. Tuesday on ESPN, Big Ten and the SEC will start Maryland and Ohio State. Mello, Trimble, and Maryland. Now, they've had a little bit softer Big Ten schedule early. I had their game. I know you've got this one tomorrow night a couple of weeks ago. I think they're pretty good, Dan.
I think they are getting job. They're 17th. I think they're a top 10 team right now. They are undefeated in conference play on the road.
And that'll be followed by Georgia and Kentucky. And Brett Musburger's final game, Super Tuesdays, presented by CenturyLink on ESPN. It's available streaming on the Watch ESPN app. As Vrankovic picked up a foul. So we'll walk to the other end and shoot the 1-and-1.
player control. They're saying 1-1. Grayson Allen's trying to tell him. I think he straightened him out.
Okay, I saw Les Jones signal the 1-1. Now with the player control, it'll just be Notre Dame's ball in the back court.
Let me ask you, what do you think of Notre Dame's team? Is Notre Dame the kind of team that can go on a run here?
Because they have shooters, I think they can. But Duke's been able to take them out of that so far. They haven't had a lot of clean, in-rhythm looks in the first half. It hasn't seemed to me. But you've got Farrell who can create. Vastoria and Beecham are both excellent shooters. You know Colson can score, not necessarily from the outside. It's not his strong suit. He can do that. But he can't get the roll, and Tatum has the rebound.
I can't even begin to tell you how much better Duke is defensively in this game from their bigs. Like Frankovic just came in and had a great possession. They took him out before that last one. That's pretty good. Now look where Jefferson caught. He's not even looking to drive out there. Can't drive from that position.
And a foul is called on Pfluger, who wanted to travel. You know, we talk a lot. Sometimes in broadcasting, journalism, you look for that proverbial turning point, and sometimes it's over-dramatized. But with all the turmoil that's been around Duke, and when you have a win with a moment like Kennard's shot, what can it do for a team?
Well,
it gets Wake Forest.
Well, it gets you your clothes back, number one. Number two, it makes you feel good about yourself because they were awful, Duke was, for a lot of that game. Like, it was not a different Duke team. And then the second half, Kennard just decided, let's go. How about that?
Pretty good, man. I think Tatum, as he made the move, got hit in the face.
Oh.
And he gets smacked in the face. Jeff Capel wants to know why it wasn't a foul. Let's have another look at it and see if Astoria was guarding him and trying to contest. I think it was, Colson.
Man.
Colson came over and got him right across the forehead and the eye. That should have been an and one.
I don't say that like that was such a hard foul. I say that like these officials are making about $3 grand a piece out here. How can you not call it? How do you miss that?
And Astoria draws some contact, but still can't get it to go. We're under a minute to go in the first half. Duke with a 7-point lead. Kennard's back in, and he knocks it home from the corner. That is pure, and Duke has a double-digit lead with 45 seconds remaining to play in the first half.
That was sweet. Coaches, run your break like that. Send your shooter to the corner, overload a corner, which is exactly what Duke just did. Wide open for Kennard, the best shooter in the building.
And Tatum knocks it out of bounds, 16 on the shot clock. Duke shooting 54% from the floor, while Notre Dame, normally a good shooting team, is about 20 percentage points below its average, shooting just 28% in the first half.
All right, see this kid? If Notre Dame's going to win, this kid's going to have an influence. I'll tell you why.
Matt Ryan.
Yes,
yeah.
Not the quarterback, the shooter. Duke give you a little bit of room, and he can shoot the basketball with good size. I'm telling you, if Notre Dame wins, Matt Ryan will have a big second half.
44% shooter from beyond the arc. Kennard keeps Beecham from getting the ball. Farrell's just going to have to shoot over the top of everyone. Step too far away, and now the Blue Devils can get the last shot. It has been a rough first half offensively for Notre Dame. And a lot of that is due to the Blue Devils defense. They haven't had a field goal since the 8:41 mark. Barring some type of turnover is going to end that way. Perhaps a shot after these free throws as Matt Jones goes strong.
Yeah, Jeff Capel did a great thing right there. He set the matchup he wanted. He was looking to see who Matt Ryan was guarding. Ryan had just come in the game, and he's not a great defender. He was guarding Jones, so they cleared out a side, gave him the middle, and he whipped Ryan, getting 2 free throws.
Jones, for as much as he's played, hasn't been to the free throw line a lot, just a dozen times, shooting 67%. After this one, the Irish will have 4.4 to see if they can have a little momentum bucket as we head to the locker room. DJ Gibbs will come in the final seconds. Remember, Kennard's on the floor with 2 fouls, so he's got to play defense, but be careful. A 21-6 run by the Blue Devils. Final 8:20. Farrell pushing. And a launch from about 40, and it's no good. So the final 8:41 of the half. Notre Dame doesn't get a field goal. Look at what the Blue Devils did defensively in the paint.
And I'm telling you, that's the bigs. Jefferson, tremendous.
Mentally is what Mike Bray said at the half, especially on offense. When they failed to score, they hung their heads, and then they didn't turn around and guard anyone. So he was really frustrated with his team in that respect. And defensively, you know, early on they did a good job of forcing Emil Jefferson to be the guy to beat him. But then Duke started to kick it outside. They started to hit threes. He said, if that continues, this game is going to get away from us. We have to be better guarding one-on-one.
Better on that end, and on this end of the floor, Allison, they need to get Steve Bastoria started. He was just 1 of 7 against Georgia Tech on Saturday, 1 of 5 in the first half here. B.J. Beecham from the elbow. That's a good start for the Irish.
He changed the lineup. You have Pfluger in here, so they're going smaller, which allowed Beecham to play against Tatum on the perimeter. Good matchup, good move, Mike Bray.
Allen going to the bucket, gets the lob pass from Emil Jefferson, and bodies flying everywhere. Foul's called inside. I believe they're going to call that on Farrell. Is it Farrell that got that one? It was, and it's his first. Well, fresh 30, handoff to Allen. And now, in a matter of about 4 seconds, first Farrell fouls Allen, and then Pfluger does it. It's his third.
Well, Pfluger is doing what the scouting report says. Get on top of Grayson Allen and fight over screens. Never go under screens against Grayson Allen because they'll read them and kill you.
So with that third foul, Pfluger started the second half, but he has to go to the bench. The freshman T.J. Gibbs is in, and as he did in the first half, Emil Jefferson got in the paint and got a shot. He needed a little help to finish it from Matt Jones, and Jones gets the tip in.
Veteran move by Jones. Everybody on Notre Dame looked up at the ball. Jones ran right past 2 people to go get a tip in. See how everything's going side to side? And you have to straight line drive. Easier said than done today.
So Jefferson stepping in to discourage that, and a strong drive gets over Kennard from Gibbs, who just checked into the game.
Against Duke, you go side to side. You can fine if you want to move the defense. But in the possession, after you've moved the defense, the straight line drive, as you just saw there, and Mike Bray said to Allison, is going to be there. But you can't do it off of no reversal.
Kennard made a good move, a little bit too good, as he's called for the travel.
Don't play on one side. Go side to side. The ball goes side to side. There's one side. Here comes it. Now you're in the middle. Now everybody's more man-oriented. It spreads the defense. You go score.
It's remarkable how teams' shooting percentages increase based on the number of times that they swing the ball from one side to the other.
Let's just say you bring it down and you throw it into the post. It's 33%. You swing it, it's 68%.
B.J. Beecham hits the three as Notre Dame tries to get this crowd into it. Notre Dame knocks down the triple. B.J. with his second in this half. The Irish have hit all 3 of their field goal attempts. And got a call on Duke. It'll go the other way. Allen called for the push-off. Second foul on Grayson Allen.
I kind of like this out of Jeff Capel. He's picking up full court. Why? Because Notre Dame is comfortable now in half-court offense.
And Allen almost got away with the foul. It actually was a good call. He grabbed the man, and quickly Grayson picks up second of the half and third on the game. Bastoria was working on him. He almost got away with that one. And when Bastoria lost his balance, you didn't like it? You're looking at me.
I am looking at you.
You grabbed him.
I'm looking at you funny.
Why? You don't like the call? Put 2 hands on the dribbler.
Hey, you're not working with Billis tonight. I'm not talking about every play as a foul.
A 7-0 run. And just like that, Notre Dame playing with a little of that toughness that Mike Bray wanted. And the Irish are back in it. Cut it down to 5. Fonzie Colson for about 16. Notre Dame starting to feel it. Human soul. Get some buckets. Notre Dame didn't get any in the final 8:41 of the first half. In the first 2:18 here, already 4 field goals. And we've got a 5-point game in South Bend. Reese Davis, Dan Dockett, and Allison Williams. Glad to have you with us on Big Monday. This ACC match. Allen curling into the lane, working on Gibbs. Grayson left him on the front of the rim. Jefferson's tip won't go, and another offensive rebound bucket for Duke, this time by Tatum.
I cannot overstate how good Jeff Capel has been tonight. They came out of the timeout. Grayson Allen working off screens. He was going to get the ball in the middle. Fine, it didn't go, but everybody had to help two tip-ins because of it.
Farrell had to throw one up. Tatum takes it away from Colson.
And a great no call, letting them play on, even though there was a little bit of contact and some wrestling.
See, that's different than putting two hands on a dribbler in the open floor. That's a foul.
Yeah, but tripping over your own feet isn't normally a foul. But
that I will give you. Had he not done that, I don't think they would have called it. Kennard in the lane over Vastoria. Colson fighting for the rebound. Tatum beats him to it and saves it into Allen.
Go right back at the rim.
Tatum. Nope. And Beecham pulls it away. Duke's defense has been able to keep this Notre Dame crowd from erupting because they've been getting key stops. Can they do it again here?
Emil Jefferson is doing a great job on Bonzie Colson.
Astoria again is off. That shot's just not quite right for Steve. Kennard coming into the front court. Emil wanted it up top. Tatum goes over the top. Then the foul is called. Wes Jones gives it the N1. And now let's check down here on the floor because that was a tremendous score, but Tatum is still yet to get up. We have another look at this as they attend to Jason. That story was there for
I don't know
quite
how
a
you
while.
call that a block, but they did, and the student body is saying not nice things. I don't know how you possibly could call that a block, but give Tatum credit. Hey, look, he went up, got it over the front of the rim. Look, Fastoria's standing there.
Yeah, there is no doubt that should have been an offensive foul. I agree with you totally. Because right now, the more concerning issue is how Tatum feels. Now they're helping him up, but he's holding that right hand and wrist a little gingerly.
Yeah, he came down. He didn't come down on his head, or he didn't come down with his knee. But you see, when he first came down, he really rolled over on his right side with the wrist.
Take another look and see how he came down. He sort of landed on that right arm and on his rear end too. I'm glad to see Jason up and walking to the bench. He's 10 points and 10 rebounds. It's his first double-double.
I get stunned sometimes, Reese, at how you miss a call like that. I mean, really, you're outside the arc.
Yeah.
You're clearly standing there. In fact, Fostoria, I believe, spread his arms out. If you can't see him, then
yeah, that was a miss. Now, okay, Tatum goes to the bench, so Emil Jefferson is going to take the free throw in his place and try to push this lead back to double digits. He can't do it. Vastoria has the rebound. And now Farrell into the front court. It would help the Notre Dame offense immensely if they could get 32 started. Vastoria is averaging 14.5 points per game. Only one field goal, but they'll take it any way they can get it, and they get it from T.J. Gibbs.
I don't blame Mike Bray.
Bray got a technical, and he may go for the daily double.
I don't blame Mike Bray at all. A terrible call down here. Now Gibbs is going to the rim. He gets an and one. This drives me nuts. I apologize. This drives me nuts. What else is he doing besides shooting? The foul was called right then as he was into his shooting motion. Right there was the foul called, and they wave it off. And then Mike Bray loses his mind. Gets a tee. I don't blame the coach at all. You know, somehow the geniuses that are the head of officials have decided that it's almost impossible to get an and one, and I don't understand. I think it's a terrible rule. It should almost be we think everything's an and one, unless it clearly isn't. That is just an awful call. And then to top it off, Mike Bray gets a technical on it, which gives Duke 2 points.
Okay, so to be clear, you're talking about the way the officials are asked to administer and make the call. Do you think, I know you disagree with it in practice, do you think it was administered properly in that instance, or was that looked like an and one to me?
That's not even close. That is an and one. And if you're going to say we have an and one in basketball, that's an and one. I mean, I don't know what else to do except give them an and one and let's play basketball. Now you miss 2 calls in a row. Of course the coach is going to go nuts.
Now Historia knocks it into the backcourt. He gets some 4 burns, but Frank Jackson picks it up for the Blue Devils. Kennard, ball fake, and then back to Grayson Allen, who shoots an air ball. And let's see what the call is here. Matt Jones.
Matt Jones. Yeah, he pushed off. It's a good call. Matt Jones pushed off on the rebound on the air ball.
Matt Jones picks up his second. Now we've got a little life in the building. Much of it aimed at the men in striped shirts.
I'm going to the rim. I'm not settling for a jump shot here because there's going to be a call against Duke if you take it. There you go.
And there's the reach. And the foul is called on Kennard. And for Luke, that is number 3.
That's automatic. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. And you could see that's coming. That comes in every single game. So there you go.
Cut to the bucket. Beecham.
Kennard was complaining. Everybody was watching Kennard. Beecham just came down the middle.
Blue Devils caught snoozing. Lead cut to 7. Kennard. Now they're calling. They're just waving that one off too. Michael Stevens waving up that. I learned my lesson, Dan. I almost said and one.
Look, everybody's
I know there's no continuation as we look at the inbounds play in the dunk.
Well, Duke just didn't talk. I mean, it was absolutely no attention paid on the inbound. Beecham read it well. But yeah, I thought that could have been an and one too, but
there'll be all of our official friends calling us and reminding us there's no continuation in college basketball as Kennard scores.
I am telling you right now, I have none. I don't. And I don't want any. I have no official friends. I don't want any official friends. I barely have any friends.
How about unofficial ones?
Yeah, right.
And now officials trying to settle things down a little bit, and we're getting a whole lot of whistles.
But you know what? It was really good by Emil Jefferson. He forced Bonzie Colson out, and Colson was going to have to muscle his way in. Jefferson did have a forearm into him. It's a good call there.
It's Jefferson's second, already the 6th this half on Duke, and Beecham hits the baseline jumper.
Out of bounds play bucket, down here out of bounds play bucket, back here out of bounds play bucket. Get it knocked out underneath.
Crowd exhorting the Irish defense. Allen, foul. Foul was called on Gibbs.
Man, I love what he's doing. I love what every time there's a hot situation in this game, they run a little blocker. Big guy one side, big guy other side. They run Kennard and Grayson Allen off and let them make the play. And that's exactly what you have to do.
Allen is going to the free throw line, and we are likely to see a lot of that for the rest of the game. Not just Grayson, but everybody, because in the first 5 minutes and 51 seconds of the second half, each team has 6 fouls. Next one's going to put everybody in the bonus. And the crowd serenades Grayson Allen, and he responds by scoring 2 points. Allen will take a break. Grayson goes to the bench with a dozen.
Again, you have to attack if you're Notre Dame. You know, Allison had Mike Bray. He was talking about an attacking mindset. Mental toughness comes with attacking the rim.
Gibbs is attacking the lane, goes over Jefferson and draws the foul.
You know, that's a bad play by Jefferson. You have Torres out there who is not going to shoot the basketball. So what you do is on this drive, you square your shoulders and you keep your feet moving and you show both hands. He showed the left, but he didn't show the right. That's a really tough shot for Gibbs, and you could be there early because Torres is no threat.
Gibbs pure on the first one. A couple brothers who were terrific players. Ashton played at Pitt. Brother Sterling played a little bit everywhere. Played at Texas, Seton Hall, and UConn. Very good all of those places as Gibbs knocks down both.
I think Gibbs is going to be really good. He has a mentality. He's not out here just to hang out. He's out here to compete and do stuff.
He made the drive, drew the foul, and paid it off with the free throws. And see if the Blue Devils have the answer. Jason Tatum back into the game, and after being shaken up, Tatum goes right back to work and scores again. He's already turned in his first double-double of his freshman season.
Blew by B.J. Beacham. B.J. Beacham, they feel he can handle Tatum, but just blew right by him.
And Gibbs picks up his dribble, a little bit of trouble over in front of the Notre Dame bench, and Jefferson knocks it out of bounds. 9 on the shot clock.
Hey, you get lazy on this kid. Look at this. Now, Beacham is supposed to be able to handle him. He gives him too big an angle. And kids, that was one dribble. Like, make your dribble go somewhere. Don't pound it at your own feet. Extend it, and you can get to the bucket from a long way on one dribble.
Farrell takes enough dribbles to get all the way to the bucket. Notre Dame has made more field goals in the first 7 minutes of this half than they did the entire first 20 minutes of the game. They're 8th bucket here in the second half. This guy can get buckets. Colson trying to stay in front of him, but he's going to be called for the foul. Dan dismissively throws his pen. Tuesday night on ESPN, Big Ten and the SEC start at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Mello and Maryland taking on Ohio State. Dockage will be there for that one. Then Rupp Arena, Kentucky and Georgia. The Wildcats hosting the Bulldogs and Brett Musburger's final game. Super Tuesday presented by CenturyLink, also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. As Duke has an 8-point lead working here, and you'll see Maryland, one of the surprise teams in the country, tied with Wisconsin for the Big Ten lead.
Hey, it's no longer is Northwestern going to make the tournament. It's are they going to compete down the stretch for a Big Ten title. I talked to Chris Collins today. He's like, look, there is so much talk about the tournament that for the first time ever, we've got to temper things. And he's doing an unbelievable job. I mean, ridiculously good at Northwestern.
No kidding. They've never made the NCAA tournament. That's why everybody talks about it. It would be a remarkable feat as Beacham just put in his 20th point. If he were able to not only get his team to the tournament, but maybe win the Big Ten regular season championship.
I don't think Wisconsin's going to lose another game personally, and I think Maryland is way undervalued. I think they should be in the top 10 right now.
Oh, can Tatum finger roll?
I can finger roll.
Jason Tatum. Now with 14 points, 10 rebounds. He'll go to the free throw line trying to make it 15 and trying to push the lead back to 10.
Beacham is being abused by the freshman. You know, they put him on there because they feel he has enough length. But look, 1-2 dribbles, and he is right past. Second time, he's gone right past the senior. You've got to be tougher than that. But make no mistake, there's 45 NBA guys, and they're looking at this guy right here.
He's putting on a show for him.
And I like it, Reese, because the main focus has been Kennard and it's been Allen offensively with the curls and all that, but Tatum's just playing off of them and taking advantage when he has it. That's how Duke's going to be really good.
Astoria again short. Steve's shooting struggles continue. Now 1 out of 7. With Kennard into the front court. Pfluger got a couple of quick fouls in the second half, came back to the game, and now a foul called. I think the foul is called on Harry Giles, I believe, picking up the foul. That's his third.
Well, this isn't supposed to happen. Freshmen are not supposed to abuse, or excuse a senior. Well, guess what? This freshman is no ordinary freshman, and he is absolutely abusing the senior.
Late helps Tennessee knock off South Carolina, guys.
Ravi, I'm sorry that we were such a bad influence on you guys. Got you guys watching for officiating, too. Brian Dorsey standing right in front of us here. And Notre Dame with the shot clock at 10, down by 10. Farrell been very quiet tonight. Loses it out of bounds, and it's a turnover as we check in with Allison.
Mike Gray really positive during that last timeout, clapping, encouraging his guys, telling them offensively they have to continue to move the ball and they've got to keep driving to the basket. Defensively here, guys, one switch you'll see Austin Torres now defending Jason Tatum.
We've got to try something else, Allison, because the Beecham idea wasn't working. You know, Notre Dame's only 1-4 against ranked opponents this year. Now Torres, he's going to get a little bit of it, and I think they called the offensive foul on Tatum.
Torres did a really good job there, bodying up and moving his feet and showing his hands. I mean, that was a really good move by Mike Bray. Look, it kind of shows both of his hands, absorbs the contact. You know, the freedom of movement thing, if you show one hand, it's almost like officials assume the other one's holding. So you show them both, keep your feet moving, you're usually going to get the offensive foul.
You can move. And people with misconception sometimes think you can't. And the free ball was much we needed from Gibbs, and Gibbs made a couple of strong offensive moves and coming in off the bench.
Well, he has played much better than Farrell in this game. Farrell's been a little excited, lost the ball twice, but Gibbs has come in, giving him a big-time lift both ends.
Allen, no answer this time, and over the top is Giles as Colson had position inside. Now, Giles was significantly higher into the stratosphere, it appeared, than Bonzi was, but Giles picks up his fourth foul.
I'm with him. Just because a guy goes over another guy's back doesn't mean that there's a foul. I thought he did a great job. I thought he got up, went straight up, kept the ball alive.
And Giles picks up his fourth, and you saw the number of guys. Let's have a look here. Now, see, this may be what they got him for. Do you see the little push right before he went over the top? I just feel the need to present the responsible opposing view between us and the guys in the studio were beating him up pretty good.
My favorite segment in the history of ESPN was when you were the judge and Mark May and Lou Holtz were. I would stay up till like 5 in the morning watching that thing by the time you guys came on.
And you
Saturday.
had to sometimes too. You know, college football final days.
Yeah.
Well, whether you agree or disagree with the call, Colson gets 1 of 2 out of it. Notre Dame has matched his first half output, scoring 25 already here. They're down by 6, still in it. Irish haven't shot it well. Duke's been unable to really extend the lead, though they pushed it to double digits on several occasions. Allen curls into the lane. Tatum doesn't get it to him. Now Tatum's cutting. Kennard looking for space. Emil Jefferson, Torres fighting for it. We got a jump ball. The possession arrow will keep it on this end with the Blue Devils.
Hey, Torres is giving him a big-time lift, doing nothing but being in the right spot and being really, really tough. You see, Torres is just in there battling. And that's what was missing early. Wow.
Another out-of-bounds play, Dan, and Matt Jones scores and draws the foul.
That's 4. That's 4 in the first 10 minutes off an inbounds, and nobody practices inbounds more than college teams. Watch here. Beecham just falls asleep. Boy, if you're Mike Bray, you've got to make a decision defensively with B.J. Beecham. I'm not trying to pick on the kid, but that was just a straight cut, not paying attention.
And by make a decision, do you mean just who he guards? Because he's got to leave him on the floor. He's really the only guy scoring. Colson a little bit of help. He's got 20. The other guys are struggling offensively, but to your point, you can't.
No, you can't
have that.
You have to make a decision on who he's guarding. You've tried to move him around, and Matt Jones, okay, that would be the guy, but you got to guard.
And get caught snoozing. Jones, after scoring the last time, picks up his third foul. Look at all the guys from the Blue Devils who have 3 or 4. Allen, Kennard, Jones, Jefferson, all with 3. Giles with 4. Torres is not a great free throw shooter, to put it kindly. Thursday night, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Big Ten College Hoops. Miles Bridges and Michigan State taking on Nebraska. I'll be headed to Lincoln. Looking forward to getting down there. Nebraska had a big win over the weekend against Purdue. Streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Nebraska is one of those odd Big Ten teams. Started out the year, beat Indiana at Indiana, Maryland at Maryland. Fell in hard times when Ed Morrow got hurt, but made a heck of a statement beating a very good Purdue team.
Seen that move from Luke Kennard a couple of times. This time a little kiss off the window, and the Blue Devils back to a double-figure lead. It's up to 11.
Middle of the floor with Grayson Allen and Luke Kennard is really tough.
Is that any good? How about that defensive play from Matt Jones?
That's his active hands. He just got active, took the ball from Gibbs, laid it in.
And now Bray's going to call a timeout. Duke scored the last 4, and perhaps the most frustrating thing I would think to Bray and the Irish is that a couple of them, one careless defense on the inbounds and then one not being secure with the basketball against the pressure.
You know what, 6 points, 4 of them unforced. This is tough, though. Kennard gets in the middle. He's so crafty in there and so skilled, but now this is just inexcusable. You pass fake high, you throw low. You pass fake low, you pass high. That time Gibbs pass faked high and threw high. And when you fake high, your hands go up. So throw low or fake low and throw high. That was a unforced, ridiculous mistake there. Mike Bray, good timeout.
So 13-point lead now for the Blue Devils, and I feel as if I've been asking this question all night. 9:27 to go. What does Notre Dame need to do differently here?
Two things. I think the ball has to be in. You mentioned Beecham scoring, but I think you got to play through Bonzie Colson here. You know, we talked about what he's able to do passing the ball. He's got to be the guy. Like, you can get shots off of kind of a point forward here with Colson, but Jefferson doing a great job denying.
Luger look to Colson. Now Farrell gets it to him. Bonzie in the middle of the lane, and he scores.
Yeah, that was really good by Mike Bray. He moved Colson, and better by Colson. He's the guy that did it. But he went out, played the top of the key, played into the middle, played out, back to the top of the key, and in the post. Moved around, they lost it.
Irish trying to hang in if they can handle Kennard and company. And Jefferson double dribble.
Don't stand. The more you move, and movement isn't only for perimeter people. Colson moved this entire possession, and eventually everybody guarding him, and there were two different people, got lost. Don't stand. Move, cut, screen. I don't know who I'm talking to, but that's what you should do.
All of them.
Guys, after that breakdown there defensively, you should have seen the look Emile Jefferson gave to Jason Tatum as they ran up the court, like totally glaring back at him like, dude, you've got to be in better position than that.
Luger! And that time they are going to give him the N1.
Straight drive. You know, kills Duke if you move the ball.
And the most significant part of that play might be that Luke Kennard just picked up his 4th foul, and he's going to go to the bench for a little while.
Look, on the recovery, not bad defense, and Kennard's got to be smarter. He just reached in with his left hand.
Rex Pfluger finishes off the three-point play. The sophomore from Dana Point, California. And Notre Dame scrapping, fell down by 13. Now they've scored 5 in a row to get it back to 8.
I got to have Grayson Allen get the ball at some point here.
He's 0 for 3 in the second half, Dan. Tatum off the window, no good. Colson fighting for it and comes up with it. Here come the Irish. Beecham follows his own. Misses them both. Colson out fought for the rebound. Jackson to Jones on the fly. Matt thought about it. Now he kicked it to Allen. Back to Jones. Colson with the rebound.
Well, Jones was unsure. He saw the corner of his eye Jason Tatum, and he's kind of hitting his chest like, man, the guy was wide open underneath. I think he flinched a little bit when he saw that.
Farrell rises up and knocks it down. 7-0 run. I beg your pardon, an 8-0 run. At any rate, it's 5. And a treble on the Blue Devils. Just when you thought that the leprechaun had been put away, he bounces back. 5-point game.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by eBay. Find new, unique, and everything in between on eBay.
From our game day mask in my right pocket with my Blistex too. I'm a mess.
So Bray, the mass medal he's talking about is a small pendant of a saint that the team chaplain blesses and gives to every member of the team before every game. He says he always keeps it in that right pocket for each game.
And perhaps that's helped with this rally that the Irish have had. Bonzi Colson working on Jefferson. Bonzi pounding that chest. Notre Dame within 3, a chance to get it to 2. Closest they have been in a long time, and yet another Blue Devil picks up his 4th foul in Jefferson.
Man, how good was this? Bonzi Colson, great defense by Jefferson. But Bonzi Colson kept low, kept his dribble alive, played through contact. Duke tried to press. They got it up to Astoria, Colson. I don't care if he's missed every shot the last month. I'm going to Grayson Allen here.
He's got the ball. Luke Kennard's on the bench. 4 fouls. See how long Capel's going to keep him over there. Allen whips it to Jackson. Here's Tatum. And Tatum's going to get called for the push.
Same thing.
Just his 2nd foul, but the player controls.
Show your hands. Let's see. That's an easy call for the official. You see an extended arm off the ball. Easy call, offensive foul.
Notre Dame can get to within 1 with a bucket or tie it with a 3.
You got to go to Colson. Reverse it. Go to Colson. Let him play.
Lob to Colson. Good catch inside. Colson with the bucket.
Same thing. Colson was all over the place.
How about that catch in traffic, too, in the crowd? Rising up, a 12-0 run for the Irish. Amir Jefferson has it roll out. Notre Dame can take the lead.
Has to go to Colson at some point in this possession right now.
Bastoria working on Jefferson. Bastoria misses, and Tatum with a good box out. Grabs the rebound. Notre Dame trying to take the lead for the first time since they led 1916.
You know what the key to this has been defensively for Notre Dame? Pfluger, number 0, has taken it upon himself to get on top and chase Grayson Allen, and he's done a great job. Except then,
Grayson
I'm telling you, that was the first time Pfluger fell asleep. He had been on top. I've been watching this matchup. He had been on top of it the entire half. Fell asleep. They found him. Look, he's just hanging out.
And of all guys, that's one.
Oh, man.
You want to fall asleep on him. First field goal of the half.
It's the first time he's got any kind of look. Look, Pfluger, you don't pay attention to Jones. He's being guarded. You guard that guy. That was huge.
That puts an end to Notre Dame's 12-0 run. You know, no matter what happens in the last 5:22 here, Notre Dame's had a couple of chances where it just looked as if it wasn't going to be their night. They fought back every time. And to Duke's credit, every time Notre Dame does, the Blue Devils have had an answer just like that one provided by Grayson Allen.
And he's, honest to goodness, everybody else has tried to make a play. Nobody's been able to ever since they got Beecham off of Tatum. Duke has had nothing off it, literally nothing, until that last move. Kennard in now.
Kennard with 4 fouls returns as we wind down toward the 5-minute mark here to go on Big Monday in the ACC. And Kennard's got to be careful out there. Farrell can get into your body.
I'm shocked they brought him in on the defensive end of the court.
Bonzi Colson. Tatum grabs the rebound, and now Allen going to take his time. Capel calling the play from the bench, and Tatum setting the screen for Kennard. Turned it down, went the other way. The flip back to Allen. Got Beecham off his feet and knocked it down.
Terrible matchup by Mike Bray, putting Beecham on Grayson Allen. They moved Pfluger over to Kennard, and Beecham left Grayson Allen, recovered undisciplined, and Allen made him pay.
Now let's see if the Irish have another answer. Farrell knifes between 2 defenders, and boy, Kennard was looking with apprehension as Emil Jefferson was the one that drew the foul, because either one of them was going to foul out, and it's Jefferson who was called for the foul, and that's his fifth, and he'll go to the bench, and Harry Giles will check in. Jefferson scored 6 early points and didn't score again.
That's because they moved him off the elbow. He caught the ball too easy. That was a foul. You saw the reach in there. Jefferson's got to be better than that. But all right, here's where Duke's scary. Emil Jefferson, fifth-year senior, goes out, right? So you replace him with the #1 high school player in the country. Now, I know he hasn't played, but he's getting better, Harry Giles, better and better and better. This is a real opportunity these last 4.5 minutes for Duke to take a huge step if Harry Giles can help him win this basketball game.
And if Harry Giles were to score a bucket, he would be the first Duke player to come off the bench and score tonight. They haven't had a single point off the bench. Tatum's had a big night. Tatum over the top. Jason Tatum.
Kennard recognized the mismatch. It was Tatum against Fostoria. Fostoria no chance to influence.
Duke has answered that big Notre Dame run with a 7-1 run of its own. Ball's knocked out of bounds. We're at the under 4. And Tatum now with 17 points, 13 rebounds tonight, and just overmatching Steve Eisen. Immediately following that game, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State Sports Center at night. Butchie and Anderson have all the highlights for you. You had a look at all of the NBA guys checking out the prospects in this game, and Jason Tatum, a big-time prospect, and boy, he has put on a show. 17 and 13, 3:40 left. Duke with a 7-point lead. Beacham's gone nearly 9 minutes without scoring for Notre Dame. He has 20 on the night. Now the Blue Devils, after all the charges they've endured from the Irish, and push this lead back out to 9 or 10. Here's Tatum again, takes Fostoria right to the cup. Harry Giles with the follow, it won't go, and Notre Dame has it.
He finger rolled it instead of just tipping it, and the spin made it come backwards, not forward.
Pfluger driving on Kennard. Rex Pfluger draws the foul. And if it's on Kennard, and it is, he's done. Second Duke starter to foul out tonight, Luke Kennard, who's coming off that sensational performance against Wake Forest with 34. Going to finish tonight with 16 points on 5 of 11 shooting. So now a Duke team that hasn't got a point off the bench tonight, they've got 2 reserves in to finish out this final 3:04 as Pfluger gets the members bounce on the front iron.
This has to be Grayson Allen and Tatum. That's it. I mean, look, these other guys can play off it. Like Jones can hit a 3, or maybe you get a tip in, by Giles. But this has to be for 3 minutes. Grayson Allen, Jason Tatum making plays. That's it.
Frank Jackson in the game, he hasn't scored tonight. He's averaging nearly 11 per game as a freshman, so he's capable. Farrell's guarding him. Allen over Pfluger off the curl. Giles with another offensive rebound, and there's the first bench points of the night for Duke, and the Blue Devils needed it from
You're
Giles.
not going to believe that. That was a pass. I'm telling you, that was a pass. Grayson Allen saw Giles underneath there.
Farrell a little wild. Giles is knocked down, and foul's called.
This is really big for Giles. I'm telling you, they did a great job. Give Jeff Capel credit. He did exactly what we just said. It was going to be Grayson Allen. I think Allen sees him, throws it down there. Now, maybe I'm giving Allen a little too much credit, but what the heck, he deserves it. And Harry Giles just cleaned it up.
Either way, it worked.
Yeah.
Quite effectively.
I think Grayson Allen has been great in this game.
Very patient.
And he's played through being held. He's played all kinds of different ways, handling the ball, playing without the ball, standing on the side. I think he has been great in this basketball game.
And the officials are going over to the monitor. They're looking to see if there's a little extracurricular at the end after the foul on Colson against Giles. Back to the point about, we'll take a quick look at this. I saw Harry got a little aggravated. I think Bonzi was standing over him just a little bit. Shot to the hamstring. Play on, I said. I think that's what they decided. As Giles shoots his free throw, you were talking about all of the scrutiny that Allen's been under. We were talking to Jeff Capel tonight about whether he could regain that at some point this season. But if he channels that energy as he did tonight, he can still be a highly effective player, but you still want him to be able to play with that edge and that emotion that was so vital in their national championship season.
Look, I had a chance. I introduced myself to him, and I told him something that you can't repeat on the air, to just play. You know what I mean? The heck with all the psychologists, the amateur psychologists. He needs this. Just play.
Pfluger fell down as he was handling the ball. He got control again and called timeout to save the possession down 10. Notre Dame needed it.
Well, I think that Grayson Allen has been so over-scrutinized. Like Jason Duffner, the golfer, said, in hockey, you trip, you get a 2-minute penalty. In basketball, you trip, you need counseling. I thought that's a pretty good line. Now, I've never really seen anybody trip. I'm just tired of everybody psychoanalyzing Grayson Allen. Look, he did what he did.
And he did bring that part of it on himself.
There's no question. But Coach K has earned, to me, the ability to discipline his players. Coach K has not won this many games by not being tough on players. And we don't, as a public, need to know what the discipline was for Grayson Allen. We just don't. And, I asked Jeff Capel, were his parents involved? Yes. So to me, all of a sudden everybody got a psychology degree.
Well, the reason, Dan, and I agree with you on that aspect. I've used the line over and over because it's as simple as this to me. Stop tripping dudes, and he has, at least up to this point. It's nothing more than that. But there are two reasons that it's garnered so much attention. One is obvious that he plays for Duke, but the other one I think is because it is so unusual. I mean, you haven't seen guys do that, and it's unusual. It's drawn a lot of attention. But to his credit, he's had guys the last few games that I've been watching try to get under his skin and aggravate him. And he goes into every road arena, and every wise guy's got some kind of sign he thinks is funny, like that one, which is fairly funny. But and he's dealt with it all beautifully, like the thing in Wake Forest this week, and he didn't do a thing. I didn't even think the NC State bench thing, I didn't think he did a single thing wrong. And, he's handled himself very well here tonight again as we're getting on the floor and high up on the floor, an arrow pointing in Notre Dame's favor.
The last thing I'll say, I thought Wake Forest players were ridiculous, and particularly the Childress kid coming over and grabbing him. And look, those of you that are judging, if you're out there judging, judge this, that Grayson Allen handled himself beautifully in that, took himself out of the situation while Wake Forest players were acting the other way. So there's growth if you're out there judging as an amateur psychiatrist.
Well, there is growth, but also, Dan, when you, as a competitor, if you sense weakness, when you think you can get a guy off the game, you're going to try it. Farrell can't get it to go. Giles with a big, strong rebound.
This is big for Duke that Harry Giles is doing what he's doing because he's really contributed here in the last 3.5 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
And Farrell fouls Jackson. Well, Notre Dame, who had Duke's number since joining the ACC, they've won 5 of 6, and it bears repeating that the rest of the world was 24-101 against the Blue Devils during that time, and Bray had won 5 of 6. But tonight, Notre Dame's going to lose its 3rd straight game, barring a big rally here in the last 141. And if they are unable to do that, they'll also lose a 2nd straight home game, having lost to Virginia prior to the loss on Saturday to Georgia Tech. But that's the way it's going to be in this conference, because you not only have the elite teams in the conference sitting at the top and a Duke team which potentially is elite, but you also have surging teams like Georgia Tech or a team like Syracuse capable of beating Florida State. People are going to take it on the chin in this league.
Do we like Syracuse? Because I do. Like, Leiden's really good.
Yes.
And when Andrew White went there from Nebraska, I thought, wait a second, because I thought Andrew White was really good at Nebraska, averaged about 16.5, good defender.
I think he had 24 Saturday against Florida State.
And hit big ones.
Yeah.
So, it's amazing how those programs, if they struggle for a moment, we kind of count them out, but Jim Boeheim's pretty good at what he does. You know what I mean?
And if Jones pushes this lead back out to 11, and you take a look at the ACC standings as most here at Purcell Pavilion at the Joyce Center, headed for the exits. Notre Dame is 6-3 right now, but about to drop to 6-4. Duke will move to 5-4, assuming that they can hold this 12-point lead over the last 89 seconds.
I like North Carolina to win the league, but and I'm not saying North Carolina's been disappointing. Don't get me wrong, but man, they have a veteran group, skilled players, good bigs.
The Theo Pinson, you know, he was better when he came back, and then he missed a couple since then too. The three is knocked down to get the game back to 9 with 1:14.
They'll take a tape and show you 30 clips where you don't miss. You know what I mean? Where like John Beeline's really big on that. Don't show players misses. Just keep showing them makes. Keep showing them makes. Keep showing them makes. Is that cure? No, but it's a part of the cure. And something has to be done with Pastore because he's missing bad.
Well, he's 2 out of his last 16. That's an interesting point because why? You know, I think a lot of times you always think in terms of correction, but sometimes it's a mental thing. And why would you let somebody in your head there about showing you a bunch of misses,
Well,
right? I mean,
sometimes people say, okay, I'm going to show you your misses, your elbows here, this is that, all that kind of, okay, great. But that's fine. That's one way of doing it.
but unless you know for sure, right?
You have to find an absolute flaw. Like if somebody's leaning backwards, if the ball's short, usually your shoulders aren't in front of your feet. Like think about any sport. What sport would you throw the ball forward but lean backwards to do it? In basketball, sometimes kids do that. So yes, if that's something you can change, then fine. But otherwise, you got to keep them in the gym and show them good stuff.
By the way, undernoted stat tonight, Duke's 19 of 20 from the free throw line. Late 3 gets it back to 8 as Notre Dame won't go away. Notre Dame is shooting better than 80% as a team from the free throw line, but it's been Duke tonight that has been sensational from the charity stripe.
You know, Duke has not settled. I thought against Wake Forest, they really settled early in the game. Like, they didn't play well. You know, Coach K took away all their stuff. You think, oh, they're going to come out? No, they did not. And only a great second half by Kennard. Big shot by Allen and Kennard. But
they're going to have a look at the clock issue.
Right?
Yeah. You know, it's a clear 3 from Gibbs. I think they're looking to see what happened with the clock. It was 1:03.
Clock stopped.
And it started before the...
No, it should start.
Yeah, that's right. We're not inside a minute yet. So we're going to figure out what to do. That's
I think
Ryan
there's
Dorsey.
a mandate from the head of officials that says under a minute and a half, make sure we get the officials on TV 2 to 3 times.
Is that official reporting by you? Maybe, you know what, we always see the backside of the officials. Maybe we need to put one of those little snoop cams like we have over here by us so we can...
I've said put advertising on the rear ends of the officials, you know? Like back in the day, Bad News Bears, Chico's bail bonds, something like that. Eden Joe's.
The clock should have kept going. They took 3 seconds off. And Grayson Allen will go back to the free throw line. Gibbs is called for the foul. It's his third. As Notre Dame is stretching out this game as long as it can. Crazier things have happened. They're down 8. Duke has made its last 16 free throws. Unless the Blue Devils cooperate a little bit from the free throw line, it'll be difficult to get the rally. And Allen's not interested in cooperating, at least not just yet. You know, the only miss tonight was when Emil Jefferson shot for Tatum after he was fouled. Remember, Tatum fouled and hurt his wrist on the end. Jefferson shot the free throw. It's the only miss tonight. Gibbs goes back, and it's rejected by Tatum, but a foul's called.
I like Gibbs. I like Gibbs a lot. I think he's going to be a terrific player here at Notre Dame. He just goes past Tatum and is smart enough to lean in.
Tatum not only has his first career double-double, but he wants to join in with his other teammates and get at least 4 fouls. Already had a couple of guys foul out. Kennard's fouled out. Jefferson's fouled out. Now, Tatum has 4. Giles has 4. John Mooney, a seldom used reserve, checking in now for Notre Dame. So this is an offense-defense kind of move. I got to believe they're put in there to commit the fouls and put Duke on the free throw line as Gibbs makes both of his. Now the full court pressure. Mooney's on the ball. Gibbs over in the corner. Mooney's in there. The trap and the steal. They don't have to foul. Mooney's going to get it and fire it up for three. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay on this end of Notre Dame.
Good for Mooney. He caused a turnover. He knew it may have been better to drive the basketball, but still Notre Dame ball.
Now you get Vestori and Colson back in. Mooney looked over to the side and was like, wait, I'm just now getting warmed up. Give me one more of those from the corner.
Hey, I'd like to see, if I'm Notre Dame, I'd like to see Gibbs get the ball here.
He's got it.
Yeah.
Driving on Grayson Allen. Allen goes to the deck. No call. Gibbs can't get the roll. Fight for the rebound. And Allen comes out of there with it, and he's fouled.
He's played a great game.
Yes, he has.
He's done everything you want a veteran player to do in a hostile environment. And as you said, the most important thing was he has been patient.
Allen will go to the free throw line looking for his 20th point tonight. He's got, officially right now, 5 rebounds, handed out 3 assists, and Gibbs gets the 4th foul of the night for him as Bray has a whole host of substitutions. Bray's about to make a line change here.
Do you think part of Grayson Allen's deal is that for some reason in college basketball we're looking for a villain from Duke? I've heard so much of that, and it's,
you know, maybe, I'm sure it is for some people, but if that's the case, I think it's unfortunate. I think that any time you've had the level of success in any program has, it's a pretty divisive thing for fans. They either love you or love to hate you, and they've won a lot. They've been the standard, and they've done it for a really long time. And they've had a great number of stars that were unapologetic.
Yeah, but it's almost to me like that's become a thing. Like we've got to find the newest Duke villain. And look, I get he brought it on himself. I get he treated people. I get that. I do. But it seems like we got to find a Duke villain.
We won't find one on the free throw line because they've hit 20 in a row. And maybe Notre Dame's just going to let this one roll out. And the Blue Devils are going to go back to Durham with a victory, and perhaps in the not too distant future will be the return of Mike Krzyzewski, getting close to part of that time frame recovering from back surgery. Duke gets its first win at Notre Dame since January of 1995, and their first win since Notre Dame joined the ACC. Irish now in their 4th season in the league, and Jeff Capel and the Blue Devils get an 84-74 win. For Allison Williams, Dan Dockich, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Reese Davis saying good night from South Bend on a night when Grayson Allen and the Blue Devils get a win on the road.